Grey Nomads lose their life savings. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, it's Florian Heise here, and welcome to another episode of Heise Says. For my morning stein of coffee, I thought we would start today by having a look at this article from the ABC about retirees losing their life savings in a motorhome company collapse. And the company they're talking about, we'll just bring up the ASIC published notices. This is all the insolvency notices. You can search for any company here that's insolvency and liquidation, any announcements. And frankly, it's quite slow to find something, as the database is taking a lot of time to go through data, or the ASIC has really shocking systems. Now, I wouldn't expect ASIC to be behind the ball with regards to their IT systems. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe there's just a lot of data at the moment. We have to have a look. So here's the notice, and we'll have a look at it. The Motorhome Conversion Company Proprietary Limited. This was in liquidation on the 9th of July 2019. Notice is given that at a general meeting of the members of the company held on the 9th of July 2019, it was resolved that the company would be wound up and that Nick, Jim, Combis be appointed liquidators. And the issue here is, if you've paid a deposit, if you purchased a product, you're an unsecured creditor. So you go on the bottom of the list after everyone else to pick the carcass of the company clean. So let's have a look, guys, and see what's going on here. So Grey Nomads are among scores of people who say they have lost tens of thousands of dollars after the collapse of a motorhome dealer and conversion company. Now, for those of you overseas, I'm not sure, is the Grey Nomad term an international term? It's where people retire, get a big camper van or you know, what are they called, motorhome, or Winnebago in the States, and just drive around. I remember when I was working on a project out at Charters Towers, it was one of the destinations for the Grey Nomads. I mean, can't blame them, it's a good life. I've literally got a book right here under my mouse pad. Hang on, I will show it to you. Free Australia, it's an old one I got at a book fair. All with the Grey Nomad camping spots and places to go. So I admit I would love to have their lifestyle. You know. Let me know in the comments, guys. Are there any Grey Nomads watching us? I know we've got a few retirees watching the channel. Let us know if you're doing the journey and watching online in the motorhome. So, Motorhome Conversion Company, founded by John Jeffries, went into liquidation in July with debts of more than $3.6 million owed to unsecured creditors. That is over 100 people out of pocket, and they're unlikely to see their money, barrister David Morrison told 730. A new separate business called Lifestyle Motorhomes Conversions is operating from the same premises on Brisbane's southern outskirts as the old Motorhome Conversion Company. Lifestyle Motorhome Conversions was registered just weeks after the Motorhome Conversion Company went into liquidation. The director of Lifestyle Motorhome Conversions is Sophia Smith, who runs another unrelated business nearby with John Jeffries' son. Interesting. Mr. Jeffries told 730 he is now working as an employee of Lifestyle Motorhome Conversions. Mr. Morrison is calling on corporate regulator ASIC to investigate if Mr. Jeffries has any involvement in running this new business. I have great concerns because if Mr. Jeffries is effectively operating the same business and isn't identified as the owner of that business, then he's still a shadow director, he said. In a statement, liquidator Nick Combis told 730 his investigation into the company's collapse was ongoing, and it included examining the relationship between Mr. Jeffries and the new business, Lifestyle Motorhome Conversions. Mr. Combis said he had recently agreed to sell the failed company's operational assets to Lifestyle Motorhome Conversions for an undisclosed price above valuation. So it's a lot of money to lose. So this is sounding a little dodgy, isn't it? But it's not the first time that a son would go off and start a similar business in their father and be more successful. I've got friends that have done the exact same thing. So it's a lot of money to lose. Alan and Ron Stewart had been enjoying a quiet retirement in rural New South Wales last year. They decided to spend $100,000 on a motorhome bought through Motorhome Conversion Company. They never had a chance to take delivery of their motorhome and never saw their money again. We certainly feel ripped off, Miss Stewart told 730. I mean, it just took over our lives for so long you'd thought of it every day. It's a lot of money to lose. Well, yes, $100,000 is a decent chunk of money to lose. Particularly if you're retired and you can't earn it back. You don't have the time anymore, guys. Different losing it when you're 30. Then you've got the time to earn it back. After the purchase, the Stewarts asked for modifications to be made to the motorhome before it was delivered. Months later, they were told the modifications were not possible, but were refused a refund of what they paid. Reluctantly, the Stewarts agreed to let Motorhome Conversion Company resell the vehicle. But as time passed, and with no word of any sale, they became increasingly worried. Oh no. I rang John and said, "We're coming to pick it up," Miss Stewart said. "Oh, all right, that'll be fine. Are you sure you want it?" "Yes." Within an hour, he rang back and said, "You won't believe it, we've sold it." But still, they received no money. So this sounds like a shady, bloody operator, doesn't it? It really does. After months of chasing the payment over the phone, including via text messages, which have been seen by 730, Miss Stewart threatened to send a relative to the Brisbane showroom. Suddenly, Mr. Jeffries travelled almost 900 kilometres to visit the Stewarts in person. He put into our bank $10,000, Miss Stewart said. He signed a letter saying he would put $10,000 in every month from then on. But he never did, and since then he's gone into liquidation. It just goes on and on. So this sounds like this guy was running a business insolvent based on this. So he wasn't really doesn't look like a very scrupulous fellow, does he? So here you go, the Motorhome Conversion Company. So, and they had a YouTube ad. Well, motorhome deliveries in Queensland are under strict legal obligations regarding the handling of money when a vehicle is sold on consignment. They're dealing with other people's money, automotive law specialist Brian Smith for Burnett and Phillip lawyers told 730. It's absolutely imperative that the dealer complies strictly with the terms of the Act. He said any breach of those laws could result in fines of up to $26,000 and jail terms of up to 2 years. Now, if they, I wonder if someone rocked up and paid cash, you just keep it in a suitcase. Do you think you'd have the same problem? I wonder. Oh well, we'll never know. We'll never know soon, will we? Mr. Commerce has referred what he has identified as possible legal breaches to Queensland Office of Fair Trading. The liquidator's report also states Mr. Jeffries may have broken several corporate laws, including unreasonable director-related transactions, uncommercial financial transactions, and insolvent trading. Insolvent trading occurs when a company is effectively making transactions that is taking money from customers incurring debts with creditors without any real prospect of being able to make good the promises that they've made, Mr. Morrison said. In a statement to 730, a spokesperson for Queensland Office of Fair Trading said, a complaint which indicated a motor dealer had sold a vehicle on consignment for a client and then did not disperse the money to that client within 42 days or within 14 days of the client's written request would be assessed as a possible breach of both the Motor Dealers and Gillette Auctioneers Act 2014 and Agents Financial Administration Act 2014 and would be investigated. So he should be made more accountable. Well, yes. So Beth Stevenson is still owed $40,000 on the sale of her first motorhome. Beth Stevenson arranged for Mr. Jeffries to sell her converted bus on consignment earlier this year. Mr. Jeffries told her he sold it, but Miss Stevenson is still waiting for full payment. He just keeps saying it was sold, and someone was trying to get finance, she told 730. It just got non-believable, and then he'd get himself confused. I don't think he knew what vehicle was mine in the end. After months of chasing, Miss Stevenson finally received a third of what she was owed. He paid me $20,000 as saving grace, he called it. Just a week before he went into liquidation, she said. See, this is the thing. If these people are all getting preferential payment before secured creditors, ASIC can come in and take that money off them and then redistribute it. But this may not be over for these people. This may be a lot worse than they realize. Now she wants authorities to investigate Mr. Jeffries to determine whether he had broken any laws. I would like karma to get him, Miss Stevenson said. It is a sentiment echoed by Miss Stewart. He should be made accountable for this, she said. You just can't do this to people. All I can do is make these people are going to get paid. Well, the motorhome conversion company was jointly owned by Mr. Jeffries and his wife, Yvonne Prohl. Yvonne is a secured creditor owed $245,000 by the company after she provided it with finance, according to the liquidator. She will be treated as a priority compared to unsecured creditors like motorhome sellers. Well, yes, here's the issue. Mr. Jeffries declined to be interviewed on camera for this story. However, he did speak with 730 briefly over the phone. He expressed frustration his customers had gone public about the money his former company owed them, because he said he continued to call them regularly. It's bloody disappointing to think that they're coming to you, he said. I'm just disappointed to hear that there's people complaining to you when I'm ringing. Yes, but are you not paying, mate? Who cares if you're ringing? Are you paying? People who are owed money for vehicles, I understood they were all happy, but obviously they're not. They're certainly not telling me that. Despite his former company being in liquidation, leaving unsecured creditors owed millions of dollars, he maintained he was committed to paying people back. I haven't walked away from the responsibilities of paying our customers, he said. Mr. Jeffries also said he was personally bankrupt and Lifestyle Motorhome Conversions had purchased the former business assets from the liquidator. He said he was now employed by this new business. I'm still working, I'm 70 next month, and that's why I'm still working to solve these issues for our customers, he said. I'm very sorry for the customers that got involved, wrapped up in it through no fault of their own, and the only thing I can do is make sure these people are going to get paid. That's the biggest issue, the money that they're still owed. That's my mission. If nothing else happens for the next 10 years, if they get paid, I'll be a very happy boy. Mr. Combs confirmed Mr. Jeffries became bankrupt on October 11 and said the bankruptcy may impact unsecured creditors getting their money back. It is highly unlikely there will be any return to unsecured creditors in liquidation, Mr. Combs said. I do not know whether the trustee can or will make any recoveries or realizations in the bankrupt estate that will be sufficient to enable the declaration and payment of a dividend to ordinary unsecured creditors. Mr. Jeffries declined to answer questions from 7:30. Ms. Smith also declined to answer detailed written questions. So there you have it, everyone. Another business that has gone under, and it looks like, a lot of people are going to cop it. A lot of people who don't have the earning capacity to bring that money back. What do you think, guys? Do you think the guy's being sincere? Maybe he just didn't run his business very well. Maybe, the decline, guys, in vehicle purchases that we're seeing in other vehicles has flown through to this business. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you know anyone who's been affected by this and how they're dealing with it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're a fan of the channel and want to help us produce more, we have a Patreon where you can make a small monthly donation. We also have PayPal where you can make a direct donation that way. Amazon and eBay referral links where we receive a commission every time you make a purchase. And finally, our own merchandise from the Heise Says blog, pocket squares that we hand make. Thank you to everyone who's helped support the channel, and particularly to people who've sent Merry Christmas donations. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm planning on a Christmas episode, but that's a secret. Take care, guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.